Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new video, and here today I will finally be reviewing and analyzing the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 teaser trailer that released back in April. It is now June. I have been slacking, so let's get right into this video. So first, I wanted to break the teaser trailer down by characters. So let's start with Toy Freddy. Toy Freddy appears in two scenes in the teaser trailer, one of which is him opening a garage. I'm assuming he is opening the garage to Mike's house or somewhere where Mike is residing. The second scene he's in is at FazFest. Now, I think at FazFest, Toy Freddy is going to kill someone Bite of 83 style. And I am so excited to see how that scene plays out, because I remember hearing leaks about it like a while ago that he does actually kill someone there, and I just think, like, when I first saw the teaser trailer for this, it concerned me that the animatronics could kind of roam free into the real world. Like, I wasn't a big fan of that, but I think I do kind of like where they're headed. Like, I remember when I reacted to it on live stream, I was not happy with it at all. But now that I've had a lot of time to think about my thoughts, I think I'm not against it. So I'm excited to see what happens at FazFest. I've seen a bunch of leaked photos for it. It looks pretty cool. Toy Bonnie appears in 3 scenes in this teaser trailer. When I originally watched the teaser trailer, I thought he was holding a knife in someone's house, but he was actually wielding a screwdriver, which I'm not sure if that's better, but I do like how they have this murderous tendencies. I think that's going to be very nice to see when they roam the real world, because they're not just going to be going after Mike, Vanessa, and Abby. They're going to be just going after random people, and I think that's going to make a very interesting plot. Another scene that Toy Bonnie appears in is he is peeking through something, I believe. It was kind of hard to tell what some of the animatronics were, because sometimes you'd only see their eyes or a little bit of their face shape. And their face shape are relatively the same, I'd say. Or the trailer was super dark, and it would be kind of hard to see them. Anyways, I believe it was Toy Bonnie peeking through something, maybe like a curtain or something. Toy Chica. She appeared in 2 scenes, one of which was her walking somewhere. I don't know if she was walking in a school area, a basement, a garage. I'm not really sure. And then obviously there was the scene where she was in the closet and she killed a school teacher, which a while back that actually got leaked and it ended up being true. So I'm very curious to see if Toy Freddy actually does kill someone at FazFest. Mangle actually looked very cool. She appears in 3 scenes, but the scene where she breaks through the window was a little strange looking. I don't know if it's just the way they like cut it or something. I don't know. It looked a little strange. There was another scene where she was strangling a kid, I think it was, like with one of her limb, or I guess it's not a boy or girl, it's yes, but I don't know what to call it. Yes, I've never really understood what to refer to Mangle. So one of Mangle's limbs is what I'm trying to say was strangling a kid and pulling them up into a ceiling. And that's when we got to see the first look at McKenna Grace. I'm assuming she's going to be playing some sort of ghost hunter, paranormal explorer. And then this was also from a leak a while back that is now confirmed to be true. Getting hit by a car, like Mangle was smashing through a car window in the teaser trailer. So I thought that was very interesting. So that's just leaning more towards Toy Freddy killing someone at Faz Fest. William Afton / the Yellow Rabbit. One of the scenes is a bit iffy because it could be Fredbear, because I believe Skeet Ulrich, which played Billy Loomis in the original 1996 Scream, I believe is in this as Henry Emily, William Afton's business partner. And I feel like that is such a good pair because they played together in the original Scream movie. And if you couldn't tell, I love Scream. I don't know if you can see all that behind me. I'm sure you can. But that is such an amazing casting choice. Anyways, I don't know whose it is. I'm believing it's the Yellow Rabbit's, because he used a knife in the first one as well. So the Yellow Rabbit's hand picking up a knife, and then in what seems to be some sort of dream sequence, or maybe even a flashback, William standing at the end of a hallway. That was just like one of the craziest scenes. Like it like flashed so quick. Like you would have to really be watching the trailer to see it, or at least know what you're looking for and when. Now let's talk about the possible scenes Henry Emily was in. So as I just mentioned, picking up the knife. I believe that could be either the Yellow Rabbit or Fredbear. The other scene that I think could possibly be Henry Emily is there's a scene, it's like super quick. This guy presses like a red button, and I feel like that could be Henry Emily pressing a button for something. I'm not sure what, but that would be interesting. Vanessa Shelley. She appeared in 2 scenes. I'd say fairly quick. She was talking to Mike outside of the house for a brief moment. And then she was also holding her gun. And she looked very worried for some reason. Like, I'm assuming that's going to be kind of in the middle of the 3rd act where the Yellow Rabbit is revealed to be alive, or something like that. I'm not sure. Like, I know it was already revealed to the audience that he was still alive, but revealed to the characters that he's still alive, if that makes sense. I'm not really sure. Mike and Abby barely had any scenes, so I just like grouped them together. So Mike and Abby Smith. Mike was by some sort of amusement park. I don't know if it could have been Faz Fest after it got shut down after Toy Freddy kills someone. I'm really calling it that Toy Freddy kills someone. I'm pretty sure I saw that in a leak. So, I don't know. Abby on her bike going to the new pizzeria, which looks absolutely amazing, by the way. I don't know if any of you have seen like Daco's visiting the FNAF movie 2 set video where he showed pictures and stuff like that. It looks awesome, just like the first pizzeria. Other things that I kind of noticed in the trailer, it was either Mangle's like attached endo or an endo 2 with like yellow eyes. I think it was a part of Mangle, but I'm not sure. gone to fix my friends. So I'm assuming Abby gets called to the pizzeria by the puppet with the fast talker. I mean, that's a huge theory that's going around. Like, I'm not the one that came up with that. But that sounds like a pretty good theory. Seems like something that would happen. And then the button being pressed. Like, I mentioned it a little bit earlier, saying that I think it's Henry Emily. But, like, what if it's not Henry Emily? Who's pressing it? I don't think it's William. I don't know who else could be pressing it. Maybe Mike, but I don't think so. The poster at the beginning of the trailer looked cool. I like those kind of posters. I'm pretty sure that was used as a promotional material on Fandango for when the FNAF movie 1 was releasing. Like, if you bought tickets, that poster would be sent to you digitally, I'm pretty sure. So it's kind of cool how they added that into the movie. We now have a full-size Balloon Boy, which looks awesome, don't get me wrong. But how are they gonna explain the other little Balloon Boy? I don't know if that was just like an Easter egg that just kept popping up for jump scares, but I'm really hoping that it doesn't end up being the same animatronic, because that's going to be really strange. I feel like there's no really right way to do that without making it seem so stupid. So hopefully they're just different. One's just a toy and one's actually the animatronic. I'm assuming that's what it is. But then there was also that post-credit scene of Balloon Boy showing up in Corey X. Kenshin's taxi. So I'm not really sure what they were going for with that. I don't know if that'll ever be explained or just kind of left behind, never to be really talked about again. I was a little disappointed with this teaser because there was nothing about the Wizards, which are some of my favorite FNAF animatronics, and it's not like, oh, but they're not in it. Oh, but they are. Because in August of 2024, for the 10th anniversary of FNAF, there were behind-the-scenes photos released by Scott Cawthon himself that confirmed the Wizards. We saw Withered Foxy being made. We saw Withered Bonnie being made. I believe we saw Withered Chica and Withered Freddy also being made. But they will be in it. I'm just waiting for them to show some promotional material with them, because that is going to be very, very cool. So now that I just broke down all the characters that appear in the trailer, I kind of wanted to talk about the dialogue. So, the puppet's music box plays throughout the teaser, and the first line that's said in the teaser is, "Welcome back." So that voice sounds just like William Afton. So I'm not sure if that's going to be like an announcement at FazFest, and if it is, that's going to be pretty cool, because that might mean that it's a flashback if it is actually William, unless it's William in a costume, but he would already have been spring-locked if it takes place after the first movie, which would be a little strange in my opinion. So hopefully it's a flashback if it is actually William saying that. It sounds like him, and what I think really seals the deal is what's said after that. Are you ready to start the show? That sounds literally just like Matthew Lillard. Like, just like him. So I'm assuming it is him. And then there's Count With Me Now, 5, 4, 3, and then Vanessa says, "They're out there, Mike." And then the mysterious voice, who I believe to be William Afton, says 2, and then Mike says, "Where?" Mysterious voice again says 1. Vanessa then says everywhere. And then, who I believe to be William Afton, yells showtime, and it sounds just like Matthew Lillard. I'd be surprised if it wasn't him. And then we can also hear Freddy Fazbear's laugh at the end of the trailer when it shows Toy Freddy at FazFest. So that was cool to hear in the trailer. I think they used the music and the dialogue great in this trailer. Like, it matched up with what was happening. It got me excited. Like, so excited that I wanted to do this breakdown video. Moving on from the dialogue and music from the trailer, I kind of wanted to talk about some theories I have. So, 31 seconds into the trailer, we see Vanessa, Mike, and Abby scared. Why? Judging on how scared they look, I think this is when Springtrap, or the Yellow Rabbit, William Afton appears. Another scenario that comes to mind is Mangle breaking through the window and comes into the house. I think it could be either of those. I feel like the emotions they show are good emotions for either of those two things happening. I personally think it will be when the Yellow Rabbit shows up, but I guess we'll have to see. And then at 35 seconds into the teaser trailer, Vanessa, Mike, and Abby are scared again. But I don't think they look scared enough to have it be the Yellow Rabbit making his entrance, which I'm sure is going to be awesome, just like the first movie. So I think, I mean, this is a theory from like left field. I think this could be when and if Aunt Jane returns. We never really got a conclusion to Aunt Jane. Like, they just kind of acted like she literally disappeared. I mean, she was literally killed in Mike's house. Killed. I don't think she's actually dead. So it could be when she returns, they could be like scared and like shocked. I feel like that the emotions kind of match up to something like that happening. Or an animatronic could be cornering them. Either or, I think both work. It would be nice to get a conclusion on Aunt Jane's story if she's dead. Why it was just kind of moved on from. Like, I feel like there'd be an entire police investigation and stuff like that. So hopefully that's explained in the second movie somehow, some way. I think it'll be pretty easy if they know what they want to do, which I'm sure they do. I'm trusting them. I'm just hoping it doesn't end up as like just some long lost plot hole. That's all. So I mentioned McKenna Grace being in this earlier. She's looking up, and the trailer sets it up to seem like she's looking up at her friend being grabbed by Mangle's limb. But is that actually the same scene? It seems like it, but I'm not entirely sure. I think McKenna's character and the kid that gets pulled through the ceiling broke into one of the two pizzerias. I'm not sure where the toy animatronics are going to be housed or anything like that. I'm assuming that's going to be the new pizzeria, but I'm not entirely sure. But they find the animatronics, whether they're the Wizards or the toys. Obviously, they run into Mangle at some point, or Mangle runs into them. We're not really sure yet. Since they haven't showed any scenes of the Wizards, I am going to go ahead and assume that after they break in and stumble upon the animatronics, this is when the toy animatronics escape. Now, the toy animatronics are aggressive, but if the wizards end up escaping and then just get to roam free, they are going to be terrifying. They have so many opportunities for so many frightening scenes with the wizards in the real world. I cannot wait to see what they do with them. That's just going to be so cool. Going back to the FNAF movie 1, in the credits, you can hear "Come find me" in some sort of code. I think this is said by the puppet through the Faz Talker, which has been shown in a poster that recently released, in a behind-the-scenes photo that was released by Daco, and that Scott Cawthon sent to him. So, I think it is the Faz Talker, and they've planned the Faz Talker since the first movie. And if they didn't, then they came up with a really great idea that just works out amazingly for the end credit scene. Or, it wasn't even a scene, it was just a voice line, I guess. I think Abby somehow receives the Faz Talker. I don't know if she ends up going to Faz Fest or finds it at, like, the new FNAF pizzeria. I don't know if it's new or old in the sense of the timeline of the movie, but the one that was built for the FNAF movie 2. Like, I don't know if she goes in there and stumbles upon the Faz Talker when she goes to fix her friends, like the note said that she left Mike. I also feel like if the end credits is from the FNAF movie 1, if the end credit audio is the puppet saying "come find me," then that means Abby would already have the Faz Talker, because I feel like it would make more sense for her to have it, the puppet say "come find me," then she goes to the pizzeria to find the animatronics, leaving Mike the note that says "gone to fix my friends." I feel like that would make the most sense, but I'm not entirely sure. I don't know if Mike gives the Faz Talker to her as a gift or something. I don't know, I'm just kind of thinking of things. And as you can see in the teaser trailer, the toy animatronics are aggressive. They want to kill, they will kill. They want to get into a home, they will get into that home. And I really like this because it is lore accurate. In the games, the toy animatronics are way more aggressive. So I am glad that they stuck with that. I'm hoping they are scary and they're not defeated with like the power of friendship and love. I wouldn't appreciate that very much, because I feel like these aren't, I mean, I understand that they're children and it was technically a kids game, but it just feels like so many movies are like that now. I don't want it to be like an easy fix like that. Like, I really liked how the FNAF movie 1 ended, because they realized who was really the bad guy. But I don't know how they would do that for the toy animatronics. Maybe they just need to be destroyed. But I'm just hoping it's not like friendship and then they become friends. I just wouldn't really like that. I mean, I wouldn't mind it, because I know it's a PG-13 movie, but it's not my preferred ending. I do have a few favorite shots from the teaser trailer. Like, my absolute favorite is Toy Freddy at Faz Fest. Like, that just, he looks so cool and game accurate, and I love that he's practical. I actually do have a second scenario for Toy Freddy at Faz Fest, and that is Mike goes to look for Abby at Faz Fest, and Toy Freddy just starts to target and chase Mike, because of the other animatronics that recognize Mike, or the toy animatronics could just be under William Afton's influence, just like the animatronics in the first movie. Something sort of like that. That'd be kind of a cool, interesting scenario to see how he kind of gets away. I'm sure that would be like an intense, kind of scary scene. Another one of my favorite shots is the yellow rabbit hand. I'm pretty sure this is the yellow rabbit's hand. I know I keep going back and forth with the yellow rabbit and Fredbear, but I'm pretty sure it's the yellow rabbit. And I think it could be him breaking into Mike's home and grabbing a knife. Now, this is a theory that's been going around since the first movie, and I think it's a pretty good theory. I feel like it could end up being true. Henry Emily could be Mike and Abby's dad. I think if this is Fredbear's hand grabbing the knife, he would be grabbing it to protect his children, Mike and Abby. Mike gave a very bland explanation about what happened to his dad in the first movie. I feel like they did that on purpose so they could leave it open for Henry Emily revealed to be their father. Also, the thing that just like makes me believe this theory 1000%, why did William Afton go all the way to Nebraska to kidnap a child? That does not make any sense. He also, when Mike was being interviewed for the job, paused when he said Michael and then stared at him and was like, I just feel like that proves the theory pretty much. Like, that's why I think it is just 1000% believable and true. So I'm really hoping they explain more about Mike and Abby's dad. I do think it is going to be Henry Emily, which will be pretty cool, because then we'll get to see, hopefully, some flashbacks of Henry and William working together. This might be a little morbid, but I am hoping we get to see, like, William, like, kill some of the original children, and we get to see Henry start to find out how bad he is and kind of disassociate from William. I feel like that would be a very interesting flashback. Very, very dark and intense, if done right, or if at all, really. Another one of my favorite shots is William Afton in the hallway. Now, this has to be a flashback because, as of right now, William Afton is spring locked. So this has to be a flashback or Vanessa hallucinating after the trauma she went through. She was already terrified of her dad, but I'm assuming she's going to be even more terrified of him now after he stabbed her. And like right after the scene where you can see him in the hallway, Vanessa is pointing a gun, but I feel like that is another mislead. I think those are two separate scenes that happen at two separate times. But I guess we will have to wait and see. Also, I saw a leak a while back of William Afton driving a purple car down a long, like, deserty road. I'm not really sure what that scene's going to be about, but I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see all the flashbacks, because it seems like there's going to be quite a bit. And I feel like that's going to fill in some of the gaps from the first movie, and just add so much more things to the plot that's just going to make it so much better. I'm just hoping it's executed well. Mangle's design looks absolutely awesome. Like, it's literally like they took Mangle out of the game. It looks like they took all of the animatronics out of the game and just placed them into real life. They all look like 100% accurate. I can't think of a difference besides the animatronics being able to roam free in the outside world. But that's not a physical appearance difference. That's just a game difference. And I feel like it would have been repetitive and a little boring if they had it just in a pizzeria again. Like, the games, they're fine just being in the pizzerias because it's an entertaining, fun, suspenseful game. But as a movie, I can see why they kind of changed that. I think Mangle is going to be breaking into Mike's house. I think the animatronics are just going to kind of break into the house all at once. And then Henry Emily is going to show up and just protect his children if Henry Emily is actually Mike and Abby's dad. My last favorite shot from the trailer was Toy Bonnie peeking through the curtain of some kind. And just seeing the animatronic eye peeking through a curtain, that's kind of freaky. Like, it's almost like Toy Bonnie is stalking his next victim and is just lurking ominously outside of this person's house. Like, I don't know if it's going to be Mike's house or just some random person that he's going to kill. Like, I know that Toy Bonnie randomly kills this couple. I don't know who they are. I don't know if they're going to have any importance to the story, but it seems like he kills them anyway. Like, he holds a screwdriver up, and the trailer leads us to believe that the couple is killed by Toy Bonnie. But I feel like that's like a 70-30 maybe mislead. 70% it's not, 30% it is. I feel like there's a chance that those two scenes could be completely different, and it could just be another mislead. But I'm not entirely sure. It seems like it is in the same scene, but I guess we'll have to see. December 5th, 2025. Why I think it's better they went with this type of plot than following the games completely. If they followed the game lore, I don't think it would make complete sense. In FNAF 2, Jeremy Fitzgerald is the night guard, not Mike. The only way I see it working is in the pizzeria, if Mike tries to help Jeremy escape or survive 5 nights and tells him the horrors that he went through. But I feel like it would be repetitive and not entertaining if it was just in the pizzeria. So that pretty much wraps up my full review and analysis on the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 teaser trailer. I'm super excited for this movie, and after reviewing and analyzing the trailer, I'd give it a 8.5 out of 10. I am super excited for the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 official trailer, which is expected to release the same week that Megan 2.0 releases, so it can be shown in front of Megan 2.0. I think that'll be very cool. I think that's a huge possibility, and I am so excited to see the withered animatronics in this movie. I'm probably going to see this movie multiple times in theaters, just like I did number 1. I'm hoping it's good. I'm also excited for Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Also, I was planning on doing a gameplay video of Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic because that game looks amazing. Then I found out it's only on PS5. I have a PS4. I don't have a PS5 yet. So I might get a Steam account just so I can play Secret of the Mimic. But it's probably going to run super bad with the laptop I have, so I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to do that, but I do really want to play Secret of the Mimic for some YouTube videos, so I just want you guys to know I am working on my other videos as well. Thank you everybody for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye!